You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Braxton Family Values After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Braxton Family Values After Show.
Yes, love the new music. New Tamar Braxton, The One, dropped last Tuesday. Such a good song. Bing is for doing. Welcome back to another episode of the Braxton Family Values After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there watching and listening. Hey, I'm Jason J. Carter.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ashley Gray. Make sure that you tweet us during the show if you have any questions or if you have any comments. We would absolutely love to involve you in our conversation. And as Jason said, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there listening.
I love this song. This is a smash hit wonder. I'm not mad that she bit Biggie. I'm not mad at that. Tamar, go ahead. You go ahead. This is bomb.com.
Yeah.
No one else. Yes. Give it to me. So, all right. Season 3, Episode 9 of the Braxton Family Values. Tonight's episode is called Hello Baby, Goodbye Dog. Yeah, a couple of things. Watching it, first of all, I have to say that, you know, all the girls look great. They're looking better and better every episode.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the episode, I was like, who died? It's like, did somebody die? Like, what did I miss? Like, you know, I was reading the blogs, and then come to find out, it was the dog.
You know what? But dogs are like... Pets to me are an extension of your family.
Sure.
So I was really feeling this episode because I have a pet, and if my little Tyler dies, I probably will have a funeral too.
Is Tyler a cat or a dog?
He's a cat.
Really? So you're a cat girl?
Yes.
I thought you would have like a nice little Yorkie, you know, really girly, or a Rottweiler. You know, it goes either way. You know, a big Great Dane.
I have a cat.
You're like, here, baby. It's like a freaking French, like English bulldog.
So I was really feeling it. I'm like, you know what? You can really, I mean, some people are crazy about their pets.
Oh, yeah, for
they
sure.
consider them to be their son or their daughter. So
Yeah.
I was like, Mama E, I feel you. I feel you.
Well, it was nice to see that everyone came out and the family supported. You know, even Tamar, who was sitting there like, what kind of ratchet funeral is this? But, you know, you got to give it to the Braxton sisters and the family in its entirety that they always support each other no matter what. And they do some full out crazy stuff.
They do.
I wasn't mad at that. And Mama E, I mean, she had Doc, her ex-fiance, which kind of weird. I mean, for, you know, a couple seasons ago, she was engaged to Doc. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't engaged to Doc. And he is at the funeral. So I guess they're still on good terms, good speaking terms. But we didn't see Michael Braxton Sr. We didn't see Daddy.
No. You know what? Out of all of the men kind of seem to find it a little humorous.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, paying attention to the guy, like, the husband's faces, and they're just like, really, what's going on? So, you know, it was kind of weird, but...
And it's a clear indication that the Braxtons have money because funerals are not cheap.
They're not. And that was nice.
That
it
was
was
full
a
out.
nice funeral.
I mean, I would have showed up for the, you know, the funeral potatoes afterwards, you know, the party afterwards. It was full out.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Mama E, what was the dog's name again?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Let us know what the dog's name was. I'm gonna name the dog. The dog's name was Toodles. Rest in peace, Toodles. Toodles. You know, because, I mean, I've always wanted a dog, and I've always wanted to name it Toodles. I don't know if I have a boy dog or a girl dog, but dogs are unisex. So, anyway, moving on. Tamar is sitting there like, stop the madness, really. And then you have Tony there, and Tony's always like, okay, let's just do whatever. You know, it's cool. No big deal. Mom's having a good
First of all, Tony got them big old glasses on, like she's really going to be crying. I'm like, Tony, really, girl?
And they all arrive in black, and I understand it is, you know, good form and PC to go to a funeral in black. However, I think it's good to go to a funeral wearing some color to celebrate life, especially the life of a cute dog. Why would you want, you know, is it that serious?
I mean, he was only 6. That's so young for a dog.
So in dog years, Was he 6 in human years or
No, in dog years. So
So-
dogs usually live to be about 12 or 13.
Wow.
And he was like in the middle of his life. So I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the dog years education, because that was always, very puzzling to me. Is how do they calculate dog years? Marissa, have you ever had to calculate dog years before?
I think it's 7 human years to 1 dog year.
What are they, like Superman from another planet? In Earth years, I'm 5, but in Krypton years, I'm 196. It was cute. Well, moving on, we get to see Trina this week touch on a really serious subject that's hitting home across the United States and all over the world in regards to bullying.
Mm-hmm.
And, I never really knew the impact of bullying, because I'm a millennial. So I grew up in a time when it wasn't, bullying was just something that happened when you went to school. It wasn't, a big deal. But now people are killing themselves and committing suicide. And there's a whole bunch of ramifications that come from bullying. Not saying that I can condone bullying. That's not what I'm saying at all. It was just nice to see that Trina and Gabe were taking a stand against something that was happening to Caleb at his school. And I know I'm going to give Gabe props, because Gabe has really taken those kids in as their own. Now, I have a stepfather who did the same for me and my brothers. My parents were divorced, my mom remarried, and my stepdad was the guy who raised me, and I'm his son, and these are not, by blood, I'm not his child, but emotionally, I'm his child. So it was really nice to see Gabe really stepping up. And I give Gabe the AfterBuzz stamp of approval this season, because he's really done 360.
I think it was that haircut. That
Yeah,
haircut really just like whipped him into shape.
Right.
When I first was watching it, and they, an incident had happened at school, and Trina was like, you know what, maybe we need to take him to get some self-defense classes. And I was like, you know what, that's kind of puzzling to me, because you don't, if someone's violent towards you, you don't really go back with it with violence.
Exactly.
And so I was like, I didn't know how I felt about that. I would have rather, had like some type of parent-teacher intervention, brought the students together to really, talking out your problems is a better solution than fighting. I was just really like, okay, bullying, it's, of course, no one should bully, but if someone comes and, pushes me, so that means that I rush them back and push them back, or should I just remove myself from the situation and go get someone like a teacher or the principal or something like that? So I was a little... It
was sending out the wrong message, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But, of course, you should defend yourself given the right circumstance. Like if someone's trying to kill you or coming at you with a knife. So then I was like, okay, I'm not a parent, so I really don't know. I know she wants to protect her baby boy and want him to have all of the tools that he needs to protect himself. But then I'm like, how old is he? Like 12?
Right.
It's like, do he really need to just, because the way he was pounding those, like, like those little beat up dummy or whatever the little cushion thing was, I was like, wow.
I agree, Ash. Like, that was a bit of an extreme situation where she's like, okay, well, you're being bullied, so let me go get you a gun, or something. It could have been that. Maybe that's how they do in Atlanta. I mean, here in Cali, that's not what we do. But I agree with you that Trina should have took a more objective, more positive stance on that. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I do agree that violence doesn't. You should never ever perpetuate violence as well. Just because it's happening to you, you're right. If your life is in danger, protect yourself. Yeah. However, if you're in school and it's not that serious, I would not enroll my kid in self-defense classes for that reason. It
was like someone took something out of his hand.
Right, chips or something.
Chips. And so, like, if someone's grabbing some chips out of your hand, that means you're going to, like, retaliate and, like, do something to them. I feel like you should just go tell a teacher, and then the teacher will accommodate the situation in whatever way they have to. But I mean, of course, she's a parent, and some parents are like, my kid can do no wrong, and I'm going to hook him up with the necessary tools to defend himself. Right. So kudos to her for being a great mom. However, I'm still borderline when it comes to, violence and telling a kid that if somebody hits you, hit him back.
Right.
I mean, of course, I grew up in a black household. And, my mama was like, if somebody hits you, first you pray. And you think about what you about to do. And then if they interrupt your prayer, then you're going to have to hit them back.
Is it like a quick, thank you there? Bam!
Well, with me it was. But
sweet Jesus, hold me back. What?
But again, I'm a teacher, and I see that a lot. And I always try and tell the students, if someone put their hands on you, you come and get me. and then we'll figure
it out.
Yeah, we'll take it from there.
Oh, such a good role model
I'm
you are,
just
Miss
trying to
Nina
say,
Marie.
we don't need people to be fighting.
Yes,
It's not
I agree.
good.
Well, also in addition to Trina being an amazing mother, she's sad that her oldest Eric is going to be moving to LA to go to USC.
Maybe,
but that's like, first of all, USC is not an easy school to get into. So kudos to you, Eric. That's like one of the most prestigious private schools in the state, and
including Pepperdine.
Yes,
because we ain't even about to exclude Pepperdine.
Right, west of the Mississippi, USC is a big deal.
Yeah.
So and I guess it was nice to see Trina have those emotions, because when I moved, my mom was like, "Deuces." She's like, "Do you want me to pack the U-Haul for you, baby?"
Aww.
Look, see ya, bye. But so I didn't know Eric was that old. I thought the kids were like 12, 14, but if he's moving to LA to go to USC, and then come to find out that's one of the reasons why she wants to move to LA. I think they all should leave Atlanta, to be honest with you, because Mama E wants to come to LA to help Tamar with the baby, which she should. I mean, she's got money. She can do that. She can jet set across the country and help her daughters, because she has nothing else to do. You come to a point in your life, like my mom is 56. Yeah. She's like, I'll go where my kids are. I have nothing else to do. Like, what am I gonna do? I've raised my kids, they're gone. It's like we're gone, but she still wants us around.
Yeah.
But really, Tony's not there anymore. The only person who would be left there is Tawanda if Trina leaves and Mama E leaves. And you could tell people's faces when Mama E said, "You know what? I'm moving to LA." They were like, okay. What? Especially Tawanda. Tawanda didn't look too happy about it.
Yeah. And I think it's because they are so used to having her around that they don't know, there may be a void that they cannot fill. Just like to have their mom, a certain distance away, it's comforting to them.
Yeah.
And now having her all the way on the West Coast, she's not going to be as obtainable as she was.
Right. But
Tony and Tamar were like, ecstatic. They're like, yes.
They're like, yes, boom, finally. Got a clue. Well, I'm really loving Traci this season. I think Traci's finally coming into her own. They're no longer calling her the wannabe. She's the wild card now. And
her body is bananas.
Right.
Like, she has really whipped herself into shape. And, it seems like she's doing it the healthy way. There's no crash diets. There's nothing like that. She's exercising. Yeah. And that's such a great positive message to send out in the universe. Like, no crash dieting. Like, do it the healthy way. And, she has an amazing shape. And I was checking it out when she was doing the little ballerina. Yeah. Little twirl. I was like, ooh, get it, Trey.
Yeah.
She has a beautiful shape.
So it's good. And she's not only in the shadow of the other sisters. And that's one of the things I want to touch on this week too, is that I was reading some of the comments on iTunes from you guys, the AfterBuzzers, watching and listening. And one of the comments was made is that we're not being fair to the other sisters, and that we maybe possibly didn't watch the previous seasons. Well, just some FYI, we both watched all 2.5 seasons prior to season 3 starting, and we're not just playing favorites to certain sisters. Beginning of the season, Tamar was featured because she had a single. Things were coming off with Tamar and Vince. It was a way for them to intro the family back together again, because you have to remember this is a reality show, and they have to have content to fill it with. No one wants to watch a bunch of family members getting along. The Brady Bunch was canceled years ago. Okay, Growing Pains, Roseanne, all that done. We want to see real problems, real drama. That's why we tune in. So it's not that we're not caring about the other sisters. It's just sometimes one sister is featured a little bit more than the others because of the story.
Whatever is relevant, we're going to talk about.
For sure.
It's real. We're giving our opinion. It's raw, and we're telling it like it is.
And Traci, finally, after 2.5 seasons, is coming into her own, and that's why she's getting more play on the show, because now she has something to actually be worthy of. Not saying that prior to she wasn't, but it was always just, oh, Traci, okay, you're in Severn with your man, now you're interesting. Now you're coming from beyond the shadow of your other sisters and things that happen. So we're happy about that. Really happy about that. Tawanda, though, how do you feel about Tawanda this season?
I still think that she, I would like to get more from her. It's like she's it's boring.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep it real. She's boring, and we're seeing we saw Andre a little bit in this episode, and honestly, I like the relationship that Andre and Tawanda has. I think it's interesting, and they need to bring it. Like Andre's bringing it when he went to the store when they were getting. I was like, oh, he is too funny. And Tawana was like, yeah, he gets on my nerves. I typically leave him at home because he's annoying.
But she loves him. She loves him some. She loves him some.
We all know what she loves.
Yeah, she
about
gets Andre.
Andre.
She gets Andre. She tried to front, but you know, she likes to pull the goodies out the jar for Andre.
Yeah. So. And speaking of Tawanda, how do you feel about her relationship with her daughter when it comes to
being a stage mom?
Yes.
With Brooke. You know what? My mom was similar to Tawanda, so I think Tawanda is a Virgo one, so she might be a little bit controlling. Yeah. Because they're very perfectionistic, and not that I'm into astrology, but I know a lot of Virgos, and they tend to be those types of parents. So I think it's good. I mean, she's a good mom. She just wants her daughter to be 16, fierce, ferocious. And if I was a parent, I want my kid to be the same thing too. Although I do think that there's some things that are a little bit overbearing. Yeah. And I feel like Tawanda can definitely teeter-totter into not being overbearing into being way overbearing. So, but you know, for the most part, she just wants to make sure that her daughter has these experiences as a mom. Yeah. Maybe it's something that she didn't have because they grew up in a church. You know, their mom, the same, you know, them singing together was their mom's way of controlling and having that feminine presence with her daughters. This is Tawanda's way. Yeah. So, but I do think that this season, though, we're not seeing as much of Tawanda as we have in previous seasons, but it goes back to the ebb and flow of a show. You know, my life is not always going to be as exciting as your life, you know? So that's just where the cards lie. Yeah. I definitely feel like she's she's not really as exciting as she was previously, but you know, we really see her being a mom and a wife, which is really great. We get that side of her, so. And I do think this season we're seeing more of the real Braxton families, where it's more organic now. It's not, because the first 2.5 seasons it was about Tony the star and the careers, and you know, they were introducing us to who they were. Them, and now we know who they are. We're fully aware and fully abreast on who they are as characters on the show. So now it's like, okay, now we're getting into their lives and even the sordid details of their lives, the not so glamorous parts of their lives, and not so jet setting, you know, going on tour, singing in Turks and Caicos, that sort of thing. So it's great. And I'm also enjoying seeing Tamar with the whole baby situation, because, you know, it's making Tamar seem more likable. I mean, I've always been a Tamar fan. I think she's great. But I think that her being pregnant is giving her that extra veil and that extra element of likability and relatability to girls everywhere, because either you're like into her doo-wop pop pop, it's hot, drop it like say what, or you're like, she is such a turn off, I can't even look at her. You're seeing an extension of her personality. Right. It's not, Tamar's just not in your face, I'm Tamar. It's more of a, you know, I'm also a mom, and I'm excited to be a mom, and I'm excited to find out more things about, you know, pregnancy and giving birth and things like that. And we got to see her doctor. Right. And they were talking about, you know, the incision and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. Well, I heard that when you have a C-section, they remove your intestines. I don't know. I don't to get to the baby. I'm not sure, but that's what I read online. So AfterBuzzers, go to iTunes, rate us, comment, tell a friend. Let me know if I'm wrong about the intestine removal for a C-section. Please indoctrinate me in the ways of a cesarean, because I have no clue. I will never have to experience that. Kudos to you moms and all you women out there that are holding it down for humanity. But comment, rate, leave us 5 stars. We love hearing from you. We love reading your comments, be it, you know, if you disagree or agree, we'll even give you shout outs on the air. That's how we roll here at AfterBuzz. We love our listeners. We love our viewers. So back to bullying. Last year, I had the opportunity to talk to some people with the It Gets Better campaign. And it's just really, really important that we drive home the fact that there are places you can go if you are being bullied. There are hotlines you can call if you are being bullied. I'll be more than happy to post those things on YouTube for you guys if you want to know that stuff. I mean, you can Google it yourself, but I'll do that extra service for those that may be experiencing that. Because it's, you know, I was thinking back to when I was in school, not to make it about me, but and being bullied, and how I wish there was the awareness that it's people are going to jail for it. It's a big deal. People are losing scholarships. You know, a lot of things are coming from a lot of consequences are coming from being bullied. Yeah, and speaking of consequences, that's why I was so, you know, just drawn away from the fact that she put her son into self-defense classes, particularly because he was being bullied. Because if someone is bullying you and then you retaliate,
you both are going to suffer the consequences.
Right.
So if I like beat you to a pulp because you were bullying me, honey, you can go to jail too because you can kill someone.
Sure.
So it's like, I just feel like you should step away from the situation and really talk to a counselor or someone who can really better assist you, and talk to that student who is bullying you, and kind of, it's just,
find a more positive solution than violence begetting violence. It's like Romeo and Juliet and the Capulets Montagues. I know, what an analogy. What an analogy. So, another thing that I was really nice to see too was Mama E's birthday. Mm-hmm. And it was fitting because it was Mother's Day this weekend, and they go hard for Mama E. They go hard, and I always feel like Mama E's just like, so over all you, like she's just like cannot wait to slap the piss out of somebody.
Yeah, we love
quote,
Mama E.
Quote unquote Tamar Braxton.
Oh yeah.
Tamar's new single, The One, dropped last week. Good stuff, people. Download it on iTunes. Really, really cool. I cannot wait for this new album. Give them another snippet of the song.
I love it. And I know her husband is like so proud of her, because this is what Tamar has been wanting to do for such a long time. And I remember in previous seasons where Tamar was like, you know what? I don't feel like you support me. You put your other artists before your wife. Like, you need to, be pushing my music.
It's all about timing, though.
Yeah.
Because what we think is right for ourselves might not necessarily be right for ourselves. Mm-hmm. Vincent Hubert has launched the careers of some successful artists, and he's worked with everyone. So he has a barometer. He has his ear to what's hot in the industry. Mm-hmm. If he did the right thing, babe, why would I want to send you out there with a one-off? You're better than that. Let's get the final product. Be patient.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you. It's like you want your first car. You want the first car you see, but your dad's like, nope. There's a better one. Mm-hmm. And then you finally get the car you're supposed to have, and it's like effortless. Same thing with Tamar's music. It's all coming out the way it should be. She's pregnant, but that's making us like her more. That's making us want more from her. That's a different side we're wanting to see more of. So the music's falling, it's coming, and pretty soon the album's going to be out. And she sounds great. I think she has almost a better voice than Tony.
You know what? I think Tony, her voice is a lot deeper than Tamar's. Tamar's is a lot softer. And that's the only difference. I think they both have such rich... I actually think that Tony has
husky.
a richer voice than Tamar, which makes her attractive. And then Tamar, it's a little bit more fresh, a little bit more mainstream. I think she can go further with like the younger audiences than Toni Braxton could. But they're both great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Traci, we're seeing more of her on the bike. I love how Tony's like, why can't she be like soft and feminine on the bike? Why can't she be like, hi, instead of like, hey, I'm Traci?
She did look a little butch.
Oh, it's okay. But Tony wanted to say that, though. Tony wanted to be like, look, you look kind of, I don't know, masculine on the bike, Traci. But Tony's not going to say that because Toni Braxton doesn't say things like that. Tony's like, she's like, the way she's like, hi, Traci. She's like, too many things, Tony. Too many things. But I'm glad. But Traci's doing something that she likes with her husband, Kevin.
It's so fitting to her personality, too. I loved her little breast cancer little symbol, emblem, pen thing that she had pendant on her jacket. It was so cute.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Maybe a little softer leather. But, hey, it's...
Should have been pink leather, Ashley?
Maybe. I don't know. Just a little softer. Like what Mama E had on during that, when she... during that dinner, it was just like a softer leather.
Maybe some faux fur on it or something.
Maybe, I don't know. But you know what? You know what? It's so fitting to Traci's personality. She's amazing. She's not a girly girl, but she's not like this butch chick either. No. She's like in the middle. So it was very fitting.
She's an Aries. She's powerful. She embodies that. I mean, she's one of my favorite sisters too, and I'm glad that she's doing something that she likes with her husband. I just never in a million years thought that riding a bike would be that. I mean, but kudos to her for going left field and making it happen, Traci. I mean, maybe you can teach me how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
I can barely ride a real bike. I can barely swim. Actually, some days I can barely walk. So, I feel you on that one. So stupid. I want to go to one of their parties. Braxton's, if you're watching and you're listening, please invite me to one of your parties here in LA.
Invite me too. I want to go.
I don't even have to drink or eat anything. I just want to sit there and watch. Be a people watcher. Do you think Mama E will get a new dog?
I think she will. Of course. She needs a companion. Even though in this episode she was talking about, she was like, okay, Tamar, you need to hook me up. You need to find me a dude. But not no hip-hop brother. I need, like...
A Denzel.
She needs a man with integrity. Shout out to all the men with integrity because I need one too.
A man with integrity. Describe a man with integrity. I mean, I know what integrity means,
I want you to describe a man with integrity and let me see if you know what us women want.
AfterBuzzers, this is a test. And then you hit us up on iTunes and on YouTube and see if you agree with my description of a man with integrity. I know some of you ladies are going to be like, Jason, you're lost. But a man with integrity is 1, bam, has good credit. Above a 700. 2, has a job. 3, has a car. 4, if he has kids, he knows who the mother is and where they came from. And 5, is an all-around good guy that's good to his mom, it's good to his family, and it's a nice personality.
You know, I'm loving the last one, Jason.
That's it?
I mean, we all want him to have a car and all that stuff, but the last one, you just are an all-around amazing person. Guy, and you are just
with good credit.
Yeah, with good credit in the car and not too many baby mamas.
I mean, you can have, okay, look, and then so what's the quotient on baby mamas? Like 1, 2. I know some that have 3.
How about none?
Okay, I mean, no judgment. I mean, your life is your life.
Exactly.
We can't, no judgment. But so AfterBuzz, if I'm wrong, which I'm sure you're gonna clock me online for it anyways, let me know so I can have a full, clear indication and a clear realization of what a man with integrity is. However, Mama E is now a celebrity, and I think she should date someone younger. Do you guys think she should date someone younger?
No, I don't. I think Mama E needs someone who is over 50.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I've never really thought that she was into younger guys, but I don't see her with a younger male at all.
Or at least someone, 45 and up. I mean, but you never know. A younger man might put some pep in her step.
But Mama E don't need no pep in her step.
She needs to be, but she's not open to it either because 2 seasons ago she did go on a couple of dates.
Yeah, she did.
With someone who was like, honey, you still got milk on your tongue. So Mama E, I mean, you might want to broaden your horizons. Maybe you guys, I have some friends. I don't know if you're into white guys. I don't know how you roll, but try a little vanilla in your coffee.
Maybe that's what she needs. She needs a little vanilla and just need to swirl that mess around.
Swirl.
And sip it, girl.
Oh my God.
Just twirl and sip. Twirl and sip it.
Well, this episode wasn't, the most outstanding part of it was the dog funeral. And Mama E, we're sorry for the loss of your dog, but we hope you get a new one. I hope it's just as cute as Toodles. Because I don't know the name. We love. That's sad.
Toodles,
Don't hate me. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the dog. I know I should. I mean, as a host, I should know the name of the dog, but I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's move on to predictions.
Any moment now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
It's really hard to predict stuff on the show because the way they're setting things up, there's really nothing that's brewing right now. Everything's really in a good place. There's nothing that's like dramatic at the moment. Okay, so Trina's working on her music. We know that's going to be coming out soon. Tamar's pregnant. We know that's going to be happening.
Coming out soon.
Yeah, the baby's going to be popping out soon. So really nothing is coming to a head. I do hope that Tony gets back in the studio and records some music because a lot of artists from that era, Mariah Carey is one of the only artists to really still be kind of doing it big only because of Idol, but a lot of those 90s R&B singers, female R&B singers, really are, not doing the most in the way of mainstream radio. Like, they have the R&B divas, Faith and, Monifa and Selena Johnson. They're trying to make way doing a tour and really getting back out there. So Tony is a heavy hitter, and Tony definitely has the fans and the talent and the catalog to really be someone who can stand the test of time. She could be like the next Gladys Knight, the next Tina Turner, one of those iconic black female R&B stars. So I hope that Tony does get over that hump. T. Braxton, we hope you get back into the studio and give your fans something that gets you back to basics. Just sing your ass off and we'll buy it. We'll buy it.
She's awesome.
She's great.
I think that we're going to see more of Andre. I do. I like Andre. The more I see of Andre, I like him. I feel like their relationship, it's such a balance. They balance each other out, and I love it. I want to see more of it, and I believe that we are going to get more of that. And really, like you said, I really can't make any.
Right. You can't call it.
Yeah, I can't call it.
All right, y'all. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching to the Braxton's Family Values After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Until next Sunday, happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you soon. You can follow me on Twitter at JJCForever and also on Instagram at @TheJasonJCarter. Have a great week.
What's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Gray. You can always follow me on Twitter at @TweetNinaMarieGray. Tweet Nina Marie G. My bad. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Nina Marie Gray and add me as a friend on Facebook. Happy Mother's Day.
Bye, guys. Have a great week. Take care.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later.